So excited that it's now November. I just love November. I read somewhere that November is a Thursday, 5 p.m, something else, all at the same time. Like, you get that same feeling on a Thursday, like, oh, it just feels like a good day. It feels like a good month. So, today's video, I'm kicking off the batch cooking series. Now, I am 9 months pregnant and I'm feeling it. I'm out of breath all the time. Waking up coughing on my own acid. It's lovely. I have hands and feet and everything in my ribs. I'm really feeling it. But one thing I need to do is hold this baby in until I have prepped some more. I need to do more prepping. You may or may not know, I've literally just moved house. We're sort of settling in. There's still boxes everywhere, but we're getting through them. One of the best things I did when I was pregnant with Orion was batch cook some hearty, delicious meals. Not only batch cook them, but batch prepare them for the freezer. It was so handy in those first few weeks to have good, hearty food that we enjoy the most, just prepped and ready. Only so many takeaways you can survive on. I'm someone who likes like home cooked food. This can apply to you if you're pregnant, but it can also apply to you if you want to save money and if you want really, really good food at the reach of your arm. Sitting in your freezer. So we're going to do lots of batch cooking in today's video. Over the next week, I'm going to be doing lots of batch cooking and batch prepping. Another really good preparation I've done is order myself a HelloFresh box. HelloFresh is home cooked meals just delivered to your door, and as I said, I'm someone who's like more of a home cooked meal person. We've ordered HelloFresh this week just to get us through the next few days where I'll just be batch making food for the freezer, specifically for when baby's here. HelloFresh has very kindly sponsored this part of the video. It's times like these that I could not survive without HelloFresh. Just ordering really good quality, delicious home cooked meals. We don't have to think about anything. I just sit, browse through the app, I choose some delicious meals that we want for the following week, and then it all comes to your door and I can divvy it out in the fridge. It comes in really handy bags. I think coming up to the Christmas season, and especially for me who's heavily pregnant, who needs like good nutritious food, things like HelloFresh, cooked meals that are sitting in the freezer, and help from friends and family is going to be absolutely pivotal for this time. HelloFresh has their seasonal, really like warming, autumnal, wintry meals out as well. So pure cozy goodness. Can't wait for today's lunch. Having roasted duck breast with red currant jus, veg and mash. If you didn't know, HelloFresh is a meal delivery service where you get to go on the app and you get to browse some amazing meals, and they send you all the ingredients which are portioned up, ready just to be cooked, as well as exactly how to do it. I've learned some incredible cooking tips, so has Lawrence, through HelloFresh. How we cook generally day to day has changed since we've started ordering HelloFresh. It takes the stress away. It's affordable, especially with my code. And you get really, really good meals. It's a really great chance to try new things as well. I've left my QR code here, but if you click my link below, my code is Sofarina6025. Use my code, you get yourself 60% off of your first box, a crazy amount of money off of really, really good food, and then 20% off every single box you order within 2 months. You also get free puddings for life. Their puddings, I always choose the puddings. We always get the cheesecake because it is so good. We've also had like the melt in the middle souffle thing. They're goo puddings, by the way, and they're completely free included. So yeah, let's get going. I hope you're all going to enjoy today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you like this kind of content, and yeah, let's go. Merry Christmas, everyone. Alexa, pause. We're about to start batch cooking, and the only thing that I want to listen to is Christmas music. I always have to listen to something when I'm doing something, and all I can think about is Christmas music. So we've got the pure classics going on. So batch cooking, all that will be required from us is taking it out of the freezer and cooking it when we want it. Obviously I've said this is because I'm big and pregnant, so this is going to be such a life hack for when baby is here. Just that we've got really good, nutritious, delicious meals going on. But if you want to save money, I suggest do this. So today I'm going to prep lots of the bags. So I got these freezer bags from Ocado. Say they're resealable. Okay, yeah, that should be enough. But before I put anything in them, I'm going to write on them what they're going to be and the date that I made them. And also serve with, so this I would put serve with rice, and the spag bowl serve with spaghetti. If I'm in such a sleepy days, I might just need these very basic instructions, but I find it really helpful just to write on here what we're going to need to serve with and what we'll need to add on the day. So, spag bowl, I've got 3 packs of this M&S British beef, 12% fat. We always go for the higher percent fat because fat is not actually bad for you, it's good for you. I'm going to need it if I'm breastfeeding, and also fat retains flavour. So the lower the fat, the less ability meat has to retain flavour. It's up to you what you get. I'm going to split this in half, and this will more than enough feed myself, Lawrence and Oren. So I'm going to split each one in half, so this is going to make 6 meals easily. Then I'm going to chop up whole punnet of mushrooms, half in one bag, half in the other. So that's 6 meals just for 2 freezer bags, which is really good. I'm going to add a whole tin of chopped tomatoes in each bag. I'm also going to add the red wine flavour pots I got from M&S. And I'm going to add also onion, grated carrots, and some herbs, and then that will be it. On the day of heating, when we're cooking the pasta, I always add a bit of the pasta water into the saucepan of the spag bowl. That starchy water goes really, really well. So let's get our first freezer bags ready, which is really exciting. I have chopped and diced 2 very large white onions and 2 very large carrots I've peeled and grated. So these are going to go into 2 separate freezer bags. So this is 6 meals worth of onion and carrots. So I'm going to separate these now into the bags along with the mince. Then I'm going to do the mushrooms and garlic next. It's getting serious because I've had to take my jumper off. Belly out in full force. 2 massive bags of spag bowl. So the last thing I need to add into each one, or last 2 things, is a red wine flavour pot. Oh, and herbs. I need to add some herbs. I haven't really got many herbs growing. Might just have to add Italian dried herbs. So 1 of these in each bag. Dollop. And dollop. Tomatoes, a whole tin in each one. And then what I'm going to do is squeeze it around with my hands. Let's do this so you can see what I'm doing. You don't need to see me. I've also got this big bag of herbs sitting in my cupboard, mainly like from HelloFresh meals and stuff like that. So all these Mexican style ones I'm going to throw into the chicken fajita bags. Mexican chili flakes. What's that? Thai style stuff. Okay, I've got some cracked black pepper, so I might as well chuck that in there. And then I'm going to put some mixed herbs in there. Okay, and then what you want to do is try to get the air out of the bags. There we go, this is as much air as I can get out. And give it a good old mix around with your hands. Make sure it's definitely sealed. So let the last bit of air out. Okay, first batch of freezer bags done. We've got 2 big portions of spag bowl. Each bag would actually feed a family of 4, but Lawrence and I eat big portions and we love leftovers, so this will be more than enough for us. But yeah, you want to lay it flat, get as much air out as possible, and now these are going to go straight in the freezer, and we're going to move on to our next prep meal. In terms of when you're actually ready to cook, just get them out the freezer either the night before or the day of. You can pop it in the slow cooker, cook for the day. That's probably what we're going to do, but I probably will defrost overnight just so I can brown it all and then pop it into the slow cooker, because browning it is a step we haven't managed to do, but I will probably do that. So let's get these in the freezer and move on to our next meal. Next up, I'm going to make some chicken fajita dump and go bags. These are going to be chicken fajita air fryer dump and go bags. So I've got British chicken thigh fillets here, 2 boxes of, so more than enough to just make, so this will make 8 meals, because each bag will feed at least 4. Chicken fajitas is really good leftovers as well, but we've got big appetites and we might have people over and stuff like that. So I'm just going to assemble all the ingredients. I'm not going to pre-cook anything, and then I'm going to put them in the freezer bags, pop them in the freezer, and then when it comes time to it, we can defrost, chuck it in the air fryer, and cook all at one temperature, and it'll be absolutely fine. So chicken fajitas are going to take chicken. We're going to use a lot of peppers that I purchased. I might chuck in some grated carrot in there just for the lols. Mushrooms, I love having mushrooms with chicken fajitas. And then I've also got frozen sweet corn in the freezer, which I'm going to chuck in there, along with lots of spices and lots of garlic and tomatoes and things like that. So let's just get cracking, get everything in the bag. I'm on a countdown for preschool pickup, so the more I can do now, the better. Two bags of air fried chicken fajitas. We've got chicken, mushrooms, garlic. I'm going to pour some frozen sweet corn in there now, actually, before I forget. Right, so frozen corn, lots of peppers, mushrooms, chicken, lots of garlic, lots of onion. I'm also going to add some seasoning. So I have lots of these things. Or mixed herbs. I have lots of like Mexican style mix, which is very, very similar to what you add into fajitas. So what you want to add is cumin powder, maybe a little bit of cayenne pepper, and lots of smoked paprika, those sort of spices. I'm just going to utilize having these available and chuck those in. And then just so I can spread it around properly, I'm also going to add a little bit of olive oil in there. One thing I haven't actually thought about is what we're having for dinner tonight. Oh no, I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. We're having curry. Almost out of smoked paprika. I'm not going to add salt because I'm worried on the day of cooking Lawrence will add salt naturally. It just comes naturally to him. So I don't want to over salt anything. And so I've written on the bags that serve with rice wraps and dips, just to remind us that day to get the sour cream and guacamole, because you've got to have sour cream and guacamole with fajitas and a bit of cheese. And then we've got lots of wraps in the freezer. So get the last of the air out, mix it all up. And there we go, guys, we've got chicken fajitas ready to go in the air fryer. So I'm going to pop these in the outdoor freezer, clean up and get on with the next one. Okay, it's the next day. Today's batch cooking agenda is breakfast burritos. It's going to take a lot of willpower not to actually eat these breakfast burritos until baby's here. But I don't think baby's going to be too long. I've only got a few more weeks to wait. I just had a midwife appointment. This was my one of my final ones before sort of due date is here. And yeah, so I don't think we're going to be waiting long. So breakfast burritos. In these breakfast burritos, I was going to go eggs, cooked sausages, cooked bacon, uncooked beans, hash browns, and then obviously the wraps and stuff like that. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my big cast iron pan just set up on the hob here, and then I'm just going to throw in my sausages and bacon to do together. I'm going to whip up a massive load of scrambled eggs, and we're going to just start assembling a lot of wraps. But yeah, you don't have to be pregnant. This is for anyone who wants yummy, delicious breakfasts in their freezer at all times. When it comes to actually eating them, you take them, because I wrap them in tin foil, then I freeze them. You just take them out of the freezer and then you can pop them in the air fryer or the oven, still in the tin foil. And they remain pretty much together. You can just open the tin foil up a bit, and how it cooks, it crispens up the wrap just a little bit, and it all managed to stay in place perfectly well last time. So fingers crossed for this time. But yeah, let's get everything going. Hash browns. Why did none of you remind me about the hash browns? I've got bacon, mushrooms and sausages cooking. I'm going to get the hash browns out the freezer now and just cook them all and then divvy them up into the wraps. What I'm going to do with all the cooked stuff as well is make sure everything's cooled down completely before actually putting it in the wraps, just so the wraps don't get soggy and break apart before I've even managed to freeze them. Away, it's quite loud in here. I'm going to start making scrambled eggs. So very good scrambled eggs is butter, the eggs and a little bit of double cream. Stir it all together, and then when it's actually cooking, cook it low and slow, and then just keep turning the eggs over rather than whisk. Yeah, I'm going to make a load of scrambled eggs now, and hopefully everything will be cooked very soon. Then I can let it all cool down and start assembling the wraps. Bacon and mushrooms here and sausages here, and in a minute I'm going to turn everything off and just let it cool down. Okay, everything's generally cooked. I'm going to transfer it to some dishes, speed up the cooling down process. Scrambled eggs, all done. I'm just waiting for the hash browns to finish because we're going to make sure they're really crispy, the hash browns, just so there's some texture to them. Goodness, the mushrooms have whittled down to like nothing. It never looks like a lot at all. Always happens with mushrooms. You can do triple the amount you think and it will still look smaller than what you expected. A full English production line. I can't remember if I put beans in it last time, but I'm going to take the risk and put beans in them this time. But generally, yeah, here's everything. I'm going to cut the sausages in half, layer them first, then some egg, then some of this, then some beans and some hash brown. And try and wrap it all.